Thursday morning coffee, and we're here for anybody in sales or who's an entrepreneur, wants to plug in and refresh and regroup. My book coming out is going to help you, White Hat Sales, how to have a white hot business without it burning you out. Some of the other books I'm sure are already on your list to read, Think and Grow Rich, which talks about a mindset, but it leaves out the human ingredient that I talk about that you need in this book. And I know a little bit about that, having recovered from a head injury. And these braces are facial reconstruction. So Caroline Leaf talks about the science behind what happens to your brain when you're recovering and rerouting and having fun doing it, which we have a lot of fun. And one of the other thing is the talent code, which I really like to give any of our recipients who are getting a service dog, because talent is taught with the service dog, and Jim and I are living the dream of it's also taught with what we're doing in sales and being an entrepreneur. Empathy was a big part of our conversation yesterday because in just an hour, we'll make 100 phone calls, and those are people who have clicked on my ads. We'll probably have about 20 new responses from my advertising, and I don't pay other companies to do it. The secret behind having great ads is also in this book. But once you're talking to somebody, we're not going to come across as a telemarketer, because we're not. It's not a cold call. They want to get information from us. But we know from talking to telemarketers, they just start in with their script, don't they? They don't even hear.
No, they don't hear you. When you start to talk to them, they talk right over you.
They just talk right over you. And we don't do that. And that's empathy, because when we're talking to somebody, we know their name, they've given us their telephone number, we've never met them, so we don't know what we're in for. And yesterday there were two people in particular, one that we had spoken to before, but this time he was having a hard time breathing on the phone. So I overheard it. I was on another line, and I got right back on the phone with him and asked him, "Are you okay?" It turns out that's always a good conversation to have when you hear somebody struggling on the line, because he wasn't okay, was he?
No, he wasn't. He was having he was struggling. He was struggling, and you noticed it and spoke to him. Yeah, and it was good. It was good. And you identified it.
Mm-hmm. And whatever reason is, that person is answering the phone while they're struggling. I happen to be the recipient of having the good grace to be talking to them. If you're really super struggling, please don't answer the phone, go to the hospital. But in his case, he looked like he was right there. But he was identifying something, that he was at home, recovering and right on the edge of maybe even having to go to the hospital again. However, he did want to talk to me about some of the real estate things that were on his mind. And another person that we spoke to, she had never answered the phone, even though she had clicked on our ads quite a few times. And she sounded very quiet. Now, I don't know why somebody's quiet on the phone, but I can tell you, last night we had somebody click on my ad. I can see what time they click on it. At 12:38, 1:30 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. So guess, we're Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. So we get actually calls from the West Coast, Hawaii. Who knows where they're calling from?
Or they're, like I said, we have 3 hospitals tripling in size. They could be an emergency room.
Mm-hmm. Sure, and quite often they are.
And quite often they are. Then they'll have that same quiet voice when they answer, because that group of people, those medical professionals, I guess they get used to working and keeping a soft voice no matter what they're dealing with. So having that empathy gives us a chance to sit back and hear the tone of their voice, and to address it, if it's to the left or to the right of what we would normally expect. Did I wake you up? Or did you clicked on our ad last night at 3:30 in the morning? Are you an emergency room worker? Did I wake you up? I'm sorry if I did.
Well, one way or the other, it comes across that it's a personal type of thing we're doing. It's not like you say just a robocall. You're talking to them, and it's a personal thing. Are you all right? I mean, that's obviously very personal.
And empathy, I'm not getting involved. Unless they said no, then I would pick up another phone and call 911 and try to find out their address, because all I have is their phone number. It's never gotten to that point.
Thank goodness.
Right. But listening to a person's tone of voice, especially in a day and age that we find ourselves in, It makes me feel good when a telemarketer hears me answer the phone and doesn't just start talking all over. Because sometimes they have a product I actually want to buy.
Right. Right.
So whatever's new and groovy out there, I might want to know about it.
Right. Exactly.
A new kind of golf club.
That's right.
A new golf ball that automatically goes into the hole.
I've got a dozen on order.
Right.
Right.
So the neat part about this process is in motion. Empathy is not something you can study. We talked about this last week personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hitting golf balls. At a certain point in time, you got to get off the range and onto the course so you get used to all the other stuff that happens, right?
No question about it. You can only learn so much on the range. On the golf course, you learn all kinds of things. You go to the range to learn how to do it, and then you go to the golf course to learn how to live it, I guess.
So this gives you a chance to know if you own a business and you're in sales, learning and doing. But it's not just practice that makes perfect. It's perfect practice, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, no question. Perfect. Otherwise, you get very proficient doing the wrong thing.
Oh my goodness. What's the most proficient wrong thing that you've seen in golf?
People keeping their head down.
Oh, and I'm not a proficient golfer, so keeping their head down, not looking at where they want to hit the ball?
Well, no, after they hit the ball, keeping their head down. They make the ball their target, where they want the ball to go is their target. So they just stand there and swing at the golf ball, and that's by far the most biggest problem.
Oh, isn't that a metaphor for life? No, aim for the ball to go somewhere
Swing where you want the ball to go.
and not just stare at where you are.
That's right.
How are you going to know where you're going if you don't look at the direction you're going? Isn't that the truth? Well, there we go. We got our nugget. We're going to finish our coffee. You have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm LaFlamme with White Hat Sales, how to have a white hot business without it burning you out. We'll talk to you soon. Hmm?